Hello YouTube. I'm back again. Today I want to talk about shit to hit the fan in WROL. I want to talk about it probably won't be what we expect. See what I mean by that is I've been giving it a lot of thought, and usually when I talk and a lot of other people talk on their channels, we talk about worst case scenario. We always talking about if everything shuts down or the grids go down and never comes back and we thrown back into the 1800s where we use the steam engines and all this other stuff. We always talk about that kind of stuff, and we never try to see the bright side of things. So today I'm going to try to see the bright side of things. That's why I say probably won't be what we expect. I ain't gonna say it ain't gonna be as bad as we expected, but I mean, at our age, it's some of the people that watch my video, because usually I'm geared to seniors, because we try to prep harder than everybody else. Notice I say we try. Some people, that mean they just gone. Anyway, let's get into the thing, because I started to drift. I mean, we talking about what we think it might be. We learn from Hollywood, TV shows and movies. I mean, but from our personal reality, our personal experience, we gotta go back to like 9/11, the big blackout, the floods, and the tornadoes and the disasters that have hit, and that's where we learn how well we have prepared and how well we prepped. I mean, you take a place like in Louisiana, places like Texas, places like the Carolinas, that get hit all the time with these hurricanes coming up through Florida and stuff like that. They can tell you stories about how hard it is to survive without electrical power. You know what I mean? Because when they get hit, their power go out for a long time. And people in the West, like in Kansas and Oklahoma and stuff like that, they can tell you all about how hard it is to survive after a tornado had ripped through their community. You see, and people in Colorado and Wyoming, they can tell you all about snow. See, that's reality. That's our shit hit the fan. That's what we are geared for right now. I mean, we're not worried about, atomic explosions, where it's a nuclear war. We're not worried about alien invasions. Because I'm not even going to ever talk about alien invasions if I can avoid it. But it's stuff that we prep for now, which is what I call our real shit at the fan situation. The other stuff, if it happens and it comes along, which I pray to God, and I say this many times, that it never happened, we just be ready for that too, because we are prepared. That's why we prep. But what I wanted to talk about is that's what our real reality is. I mean, we know what we have to do because we've been through things. Like in Ohio, where I live at, we've been through floods. We've been through tornadoes. We've been through blackouts. And we always prepared. And like I said, it's going to be some stuff going to happen. Like, I'm going to just throw some stuff out there. Remember when the government shut down for what, 30 days, 40 days, or whatever it was? A lot of people never experienced that. I never experienced that, but that was the longest I have ever seen. But I remember when we had the gas embargo. Remember that? With the OPEC back in 78 and 79, and we had gas lines. A lot of people don't remember that. I remember the truck strike. You people don't remember that. When the Teamsters went on strike, and they shut down everything, and people were living without items and food, because without trucks, there is nothing. You can stretch out this whole country. But anyway, see, I'm getting the drift. Those are national disasters, not natural, but national disasters and stuff that people had caused. You know what I mean? That we did to ourselves. And speaking of that, I want to get back to talking about home security. I always like to talk about home security because I'm bugging in, and I want everybody else to be safe that bugging in too. And maybe sometimes I might get them an idea on what they need to do. But one good thing to do if you bugging in especially if you live in an apartment complex. Make friends with your neighbors. I mean, try to find people that think like you can. That's like-minded. That's what I like to say. That's what I did when I got my group. I got people in my group that's like-minded, but they family members, so they think the same way I think about when things go bad and disasters gonna happen. And you know what? And if you don't have people in your group that's family members that you can trust, and that's the whole bottom line, is are they trustworthy? Because if you don't have people in your group that you can trust, you making a big mistake. Never put anybody in your group that you can't not trust. All right? That's the biggest mistake you can make. If a friend of a friend brings another guy to your group and you feel that you don't trust him, he doesn't get in the group, or she doesn't get in the group. They don't get in the group. Because I'm telling you, that would tear your group apart. All right? So I'm just saying that, there's no place out here in this country that's going to be safe from an actual catastrophic shit hit the fan. I mean, nobody's going to be 100% safe. I mean, we're not immune. There's going to be things happening all over, and people are going to be impacted by the crisis. So I'm just saying, make sure you always try to update your defenses for your home, you know what I mean? And limit the people you let in your group. And if people in your group don't seem to be able to show up, I mean, if something happened and shit at the fan crisis, and they might be out of town or something like that, and they can't get to your spot, and you're shorthanded on the people in your spot, make sure you train everybody else that's in your group to do the job that you had for them to do also. Everybody in the group should know everybody's job. And everybody in the group should be able to use a firearm that's of age. I ain't gonna say be having a 7 or 8 year old out there with a gun. I wouldn't do that, because kids are mischievous. I would say that they might shoot themselves in the head. But you got to protect your home. You got to be prepared. I mean, I'm an urban guy. And another thing I wanted to mention, hygiene. If you're gonna have kids in your group, which I'm gonna have kids in my group. We're gonna be handicapped kids and autistic kids and stuff like that. Also in people groups, I just want to make sure that you understand that you're gonna have to have hygiene. You got to make sure that they wash your hands, because one thing that can kill a group is disease, and that's been known to kill a lot of people. I mean, we might be safe, fortified in your location, but if people don't wash their hands or sanitize their hands or clean up their mess or whatever, you could die fast, because medical supplies are going to be limited in these groups. Like I mentioned once before in one of my other videos, that some of the medicine that I probably need, I won't be able to get, because, with this opioid crisis out there and stuff like that, they're not going to just be writing prescriptions for everybody. Okay, well, basically, that's all I wanted to talk about, YouTube. I really didn't want to gripe, which I end up doing anyway. I just wanted to make sure that everybody know that probably what we expect to happen and the shit hit the fan might not happen. I mean, we watch the TVs and the movie and all that stuff happening like that, like the road and stuff. It probably won't happen, but I'm gonna tell you this: when people are short on food, it won't happen fast. Food shortages will happen fast, and when the machines go down, the electric go down, and the ATM machines are not gonna be working, that's when the food shortage is gonna start to hit, and that's what you got to worry about first. So keep your eyes on that. Watch out for those red flags. Thank you, YouTube.